When I'm not telling stories, I work part-time for the Postal Service as an assistant rural carrier, an ARC, an ARC. And it's mostly Sunday Amazon deliveries, but I help out during the weekdays when the volume's heavy, like it is this time of year. And I enjoy being of service to my fellow carriers. I'm pretty low in the pecking order. I can only handle packages. I don't get to mess with the mail, but I do take the load off them on heavy days, and I like bringing things to people. I like bringing them their toys and their tools and their furniture and their clothes and their drugs. I travel all of the routes around the county, and I get to go from apartment buildings to tract housing to suburbs to trailer parks to hilltop mansions and cabins hidden in the deep woods. And I often feel like the fairy tale hero Boots on my magic wandering. Boots is the seventh son of the king, whose only inheritance are the big clumpy boots that give him his name. His older brothers have all gone off to seek their fortunes and have gone astray. So Boots goes off too, wandering and meandering on his magic journeys, and my journeys are magic in that way too. Came to recently a double-wide trailer delivering a baby's changing table, and the young man came to the door and he said, "Oh, just in time, we just got back from the hospital with our baby boy." I said, "I'm so glad I could bring it to you right when you needed it. Congratulations. Have a good one." He said, "Thank you. Have a good one." It's like that, magical journeys all around, like Boots, who goes off and helps out where he can. He gives a crust of bread to some ants, or he helps a fallen nestling back up into the tree, or slips a silver trout into the stream, wandering he knows not where, seeking he knows not what, just on a magic journey. And I, on that journey too, sometimes I'm the recipient too, as well as the deliverer. Last December during the Arctic blast, I was delivering a package across the street late at night. I came back to my truck and the neighbor handed me a pair of alpaca wool socks. My feet are forever grateful. Boots goes along too on his journey. He comes across a starving wolf who begs of him his horse, and Boots generously sacrifices his horse. The wolf eats and becomes Boots' steed instead, his magical carrier and magical guardian. I don't really get to drive around on a magical wolf, but I do have an LLV. A long life vehicle, as they're called, and you recognize them, those big metal boxes, and they are magic in their own way, because wherever I go in that truck, people smile, they wave, they're always happy to see me, and not only that, drivers are willing to put up with my crawling pace. So Boots goes along and he comes to a land that has been ravaged by a invincible ogre who holds captive a princess in his castle, typical in such stories. And Boots and the princess tease out the secret of the ogre's strength. They find that the ogre has hidden his heart far away where he cannot be hurt. And I feel like I'm driving across that fairy tale landscape ever since Helene, ravaged by a heartless ogre. Tangled wires, fallen trees, smashed cars, broken homes. Somewhere is hidden a heart, but it's hidden deep because of the wariness and the weariness of the land. And Boots goes off to find that heart. He crosses a great lake and comes to the island on the lake, and the chapel on the island, and the well in the chapel, and the duck in the well, and the egg in the duck, and the heart in the egg. He captures that heart and he brings it back. And I'm going off the asphalt onto the gravel, down the winding dirt road and up the rutted path, and in the dark and frightening woods and past those warning signs. I don't have enough ammo to fire a warning shot, private property, beware of dog. And I'm making my way up to the last delivery of the night, a faraway cabin, and the last sign greets me, "Either you're bulletproof or you're stupid." Well, I'm stupid, so I'm pulling my truck up as close as I can get for a heavy delivery, and I tip it onto my shoulder, and I turn around, and there on the porch is a meemaw in her house dress leaning on her walker with a big smile. I say, "Howdy." And she says, "Howdy." And I say, "Where can I put this for you?" She says, "Inside the doorway, be nice." I say, "Okay." I haul this heavy package up across the porch, and a big old Bubba comes and picks it up and takes it inside. And they come out and we chat for a while. Boy, thank you for that mini fridge. We sure needed it. We really appreciate your coming up all this way. Not many delivery drivers will go that far. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I could get it to you when you needed it. How are things doing? Well, we lost the shed and beat up the roof, but we have a well and a generator, so we're getting by okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it. You all have a good one. Thank you. You have a good one, too. Take care now. I'm still smiling as I go back to the truck, and I turn around and go back down that drive, and I realize I'd passed a kind of test. I had braved the gargoyles of the cathedral to stand for a moment in the holy sanctuary of fellowship. Well, in most versions of Boots' stories, he gets that heart and he crushes it, but I'm a delivery man. The way I want it, Boots delivers that heart, and when the ogre gets his heart back, he shrinks into a man, full of compassion and bent with regret. Now, whatever problems you might have with fairy tales, issues with patriarchy or heteronormativity or just plain goofiness, they show an important pattern. Heroes offer service. They harvest the laden tree or milk the swollen cow or comb the thorny nettles out. And they break bread with the stranger. The story of Boots reminds me that the path to the hidden heart is paved with acts of kindness. I have a delivery for you. Hope I got it to you right on time. Take care now. Have a good one.